Narrative text. I'm gonna explain the definition, purposes, generic structures, and example of narrative text. A. The definition of narrative text. Narrative text is a story with a complication or problematic events, and it tries to find the solutions to solve the problems. An important part of narrative text is the narrative text mode, the set of methods used to communicate the narrative through a process narration. B. The purpose of narrative text. The purpose of narrative text is to amuse or to entertain the reader with a story. C. The generic structures of narrative text. Number 1. Orientation. Orientation is set of the scene, where and when the story happened, and introduces the participants of the story, who and what is involved in this story. And number 2. Complication. Complication tells the beginning of the problems, which leads to the crisis or climax of the main participants. And number 3. Resolution. The problem or the crisis is resolved either in the happy ending or in a sad or tragic ending. 4. Reorientation or coda. This is the closing remark to the story, and it is optional. It consists of a moral lesson, advice, or teaching from the writer. Example of narrative text. The Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, a mother duck sat on her eggs. He felt tired of sitting on them. She just wished the eggs would break out. Several days later, she got her wish. The eggs cracked, and some cute little duckling appeared. Peep, peep, the little duckling cried. Quack, quack, their mother greeted in return. However, the largest egg had not cracked. The mother duck sat on it for several days. Finally, it cracked, and a huge ugly duckling waddled out. The mother duck looked at him in surprise. He was so big and very gray. He didn't look like the others at all. He was like a turkey. When the mother duck brought the children to the pond for their first swimming lesson, the huge gray duckling splashed and paddled about just as nicely as the other duckling did. That is not the turkey chick. He is my very own son and quite handsome, the mother said proudly. However, the other animals didn't agree. They hissed and made fun of him day by day. Even his own sisters and brothers were very unkind. "You are very ugly," they quacked. The little poor duckling was very unhappy. "I wish I looked like them," he thought to himself. One day, the ugly duckling ran away and hid in the bushes. The sad duckling lived alone through the cold and snow winter. Finally, the spring flowers began to bloom. While he was swimming in the pond, he saw 3 large white swans swimming toward him. "Oh dear, these beautiful birds will laugh and pick me too," he said to himself. But the swans didn't not attack him. Instead, they swam around him and stroked him with their bills. As the ugly duckling bent his neck to speak to them, he saw his reflection in the water. He could not believe his eyes. "I'm not an ugly duckling, but a beautiful swan," he exclaimed. He was very happy. From that day on, he swam and played with his new friends, and he was happier than he had never been.